Hi, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing Attack on Titan. This is season 4, episode 16. So, the very last episode in part 1 of the final season. And so much happened in the previous one, or they showed us so much from Zeke's past, and we had a lot to talk about that we totally forgot to get into like the actual ending of that episode, which was an explosive ending where we actually got back to the present. Levi taking Zeke somewhere, and then Zeke he moved so that the thunder spear that was like lodged inside of him, it exploded, and then we didn't really get to see what happened afterwards. I don't believe that Zeke is completely dead, and don't believe that Levi is dead either. But that's just where we are at the moment in the story, and of course with so much else going on. But I'm really curious about how this one is going to wrap up the first part, or at least maybe to lead us into the second part, and what the fuck is going to happen in the story. So are you ready? Any cat disclaimers, or same
it's
as
very
last?
very hot in here because it suddenly became spring, and then everything like this apartment is very hot, and there's a lot of lights and everything, so everything is hot. So yeah, now you know.
And you're uncomfortable.
And I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, we can't open any windows because then the noise is just too much. Yeah. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for Attack on Titan at the moment, where we are several episodes ahead. Most likely almost done with part 2 at this point. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. And here we go. Okay, show us what happened. Oh, they heard it. Yeah. Huh? What? What's going on? What the fuck? Why is...
What?
Where did this one come from? Why is it putting him in the... And where's Levi? That wasn't Levi. No, he can't be. Hey. Just when you think you know what's going on, they're like, nope. Curveball. That was some imagery. Just gonna store you in there. How did it know to do that? I thought for a second like that this was maybe going to be the end of Zeke, but with that, no.
I think he got some Reiner thick plot armor.
Above and below. Referring to what?
またすぐに我々と食卓を囲む日が来る。私の言った通りになりましたね。ピクシス司令、迅速な対応に感謝いたします。
脊髄液をもらえたのであれば。
Yeah, didn't have much of a choice.
どうやらより早く願えるほどより良き立場につけるらしいの。誇らしげに巻きつけておられる白い布は家が。
Again with the fucking armbands.
マハレとやり方が似ておるの。お主らの生まれ故郷もこのようにして支配されたのではないか。
敵から学ぶことは多い。
敵の増やし方も学んだようじゃの。花から毒を持ったワインを振る舞う客人を信用しなかった我々は賢明であったのやら愚かであったのやら。
Yeah, good way of putting it.
世界は救われると申したのか。これよりジークとエレンは接触し、小規模の地ならしを発動させ、世界の国々に今後50年、島には手出しできぬと思い知らせることが計画のはず。
No?
救われるのはこの島だけではないのか。
ジークは世界を救う神でありますので、罰が下ることでしょ
Damn, Yelena.
アルミン、巨人の力でここから出ることはできるか？
Not without
できない。
killing.
この町を
Yeah.
吹き飛ばすことしか。
で、お前はなんでエレンにタコ殴りにされたんだ？そろそろ話してもいいだろう。
おい、もう十分だろじゃん。奴は完全にクソ野郎になっちまったってことだ。
奴が正気だとしたら、何の意味もなくそんなことをするとは思えない。何か、そこに奴の真意があるんじゃないのか。
I do like how Sean is thinking or trying to make sense of it.
ジークとエレンが接触を果たすまでここでおとなしくしてろ。
お前。
よかったな、イエレナ。マーレを滅ぼして祖国の復讐を果たす。これがこの島に来た本当の目的だったんだろ
う。騙された奴が負けた。たったそれだけのことだ。
グリーズ、俺たちを撃ってイエレナの下僕に昇格したみてえだな。
このチクリ野郎。
悪魔どもに肩入れして裏切ったのはお前だろ。悪魔の末裔の芋くせえ女なんぞに鼻の下伸ばしやがって。
Don't.
バイタが死んで正気に戻るかと思った俺がバカだった。
てめえもなっつっ
わかるように言ってやるよ。あのバイタは汚れた。
もうあなた方を悪魔と罵る輩はこの島に必要はありません。
Okay.
世界から憎しみの連鎖を断ち切り、エルディアとマーレでさえも救うことが目的なのです。包み隠さず全てをお話しします。世界を救うジークの秘策、安楽死計画の全てを。
Alright.
Spilling the beans. What are they gonna think about that?
何のよ。
ファルコを助けたかったら協力しろ。
協力。
How? Yeah.
無線で助けを呼んでもらう。壁内の侵入者が反応を示すようにな。
動かないで。ガビも静かに。ピクサー。静かに。
We're very sorry about the abrupt pause right here. It was just in the middle of that scene. Of course, all of a sudden, one of our neighbors upstairs or next door or whatever just started yelling and making a lot of noise. And I know that's gonna be extremely distracting to listen to. And for us sitting here, it was extremely distracting as well. I couldn't take my mind off of it, and I barely noticed Peak appearing and. Yeah, so that sort of ruined that surprise. We're gonna try and continue from that point, but just wanted to quickly explain why we all of a sudden why we're going from very surprised to just sitting with blank expressions on our faces. It's because there's a very noticeable cut right here. But yeah, are you okay? Are you ready to continue? Sure. All right. Yeah.
君がエレン・イエラーで合ってるよね。
Okay, so there was actually a pause there anyway.
エレン、ポケットから手を出して。
従わなければどうなる？
引き金を引く。あなたの脳みそが床に散らばる。
始祖の巨人を殺すことは許可されてない。命令は必ず始祖を奪還せよだ。この後に及んでもあんたは一旦巨人になってから俺を生かしたまま食わなくちゃいけない。
True.
だろ？
はい、撃てません。あなたを食べることも本当無理あると思うし、どうもね。あなたが始祖の力を使えたらマーレを倒せるんじゃないかと思って。賞賛もなしに全世界を敵に回したわけじゃないんでしょ。でも賞賛って始祖の力以外に何かある？
だとしたら何が望みだ？
私はたった一人の家族である父にまともな医療を受けさせるため戦士になった。父の命は何？死ぬ前に一人残される父に私の手でエルディアの明るい未来を見せたい。そのためにはマーレを叩き潰す必要がある。私は何でも協力する。
Is he being for real or playing him here?
善良なエルディア人だと世界から認められたら
No.
いつかエルディアは解放されるんじゃなかったの？あなたもジークと同じ裏切り者なの？私たちはマーレ人、エルディア人、何だと思う？何人を名乗ろうと私たちは巨人になることができる人種。 つまり私たちはマーレに用済みとされて、いずれみんな殺されるの。
I don't think she's wrong about that.
あんたがこっちに協力するってんなら何か証拠を見せろ。
この町に潜む仲間の位置を教える。
どうやって？
この建物の屋上に行けばすぐに指をさせる。
この世から巨人がいることで存在する苦しみが生じなくなるのです。ゆっくりと安らかに。
いや待て、安らかなもんかよ。そんな状態でどう国を守る？他の国が放っておくとでも。
そこに関しては従来通り。
Okay, still gonna use the rumbling as a deterrent.
それで全ては万全だというつもりか。
Yeah.
万全、絶対。そんなものどこの国にも存在しません。
But yeah,
どの
true.
国も様々な問題を抱えています。
At least aware of it.
かの兄弟はこの先何千年も語り継がれる象徴となるのです。そして二人は死後も救世主として人類を照らす太陽となり、どうされましたか？そのような尊いお考えがあったと感動いたしました。それはよかった。
敵が侵入している。一人殺された。下にきの巨人の保有者だ。なんだと。だがマーレを裏切ったらしい。
なんだ、騒がしくなってきたぞ。
What the fuck?
下手に巨人化すればその子は粉々だろう。
安心して、この子もすぐに分かってくれるから。
Mm-hmm.
あの小柄な女がマーレの兵か。味方だって。
よろしくね。
Hi.
ワルコもここにいるが、ジークの脊髄液を口にしちまっている。
私のせいでまた。ジークにはなぜそんな特別な能力があるのか知ってる？
さあな、あんたは知ってるのか？
いいえ、誰も知らなかった。ジーク以外は出会った時からジークは常に嘘をつき続けているように見えていたけど、
Okay.
あなたを目の前にして初めて本音を話したから、あなたになら特別な能力の秘密も話したんじゃないの？例えばその秘密が始祖の巨人の力を引き出すこととつながっているとか。あら、顎ひげは剃っちゃったの？
Shaved. Peak is so perceptive.
Well, she was a scout. Like a scout, you know, like.
Yeah, not part of the scouts, but
But
yeah.
a scout, yeah.
示せ、敵はどこにいる？
She's not with them. This is part of the plan.
そこ。
Okay, my heart just started pounding.
That's Jaw. Yep.
Oh, almost fucking got him. Kinda got him.
なんだ？始まったんだ。
裏切ったんじゃなかったの？ガビ、私が仲間を売ると思ったの？
Whoa.
私はマーレを信じてない。私は一緒に戦ってきた仲間を信じている。
ピークとガリアードが奴の位置を暴いた。
Shit is about to go down.
Yep.
来いよ、ライナー。
What the fuck? That's how part one ends?
Oh, was it this was the end?
This is the end of part one.
Ew.
Wow, imagine having to wait a whole year or something for...
My heart cries out for you.
Yeah. We're very lucky that we don't have to wait. We just jump into the next one whenever we want, pretty much. But there we go. Episode 16, the end of part one, as I just said. Wow, yeah. A lot of moments. And of course, Peak did not mean what she said. Like, she's so clever and good at not revealing her true intentions and playing the people around her, but also being like, shouldn't come as a surprise that of course she's loyal to the people she's fought with and the people who actually matter, matter something to her. And yeah, we're just waiting for this to happen because we knew they were coming back and they were going to try and rescue Falco and Gabi before the big attack from all the nations in, like they said, 6 months when they were talking about leaving for Party's Island. But now it's probably less than that. And they brought fucking airships. Peak and Galliard, they're the ones who infiltrated. We knew Peak was there because they sort of showed us that at the end of one of the episodes. But Galliard didn't know that. And he almost got Eren there. But Eren still managed to transform, of course. And now, well, I'm expecting for like the way that we're going to start in part 2 is going to be another big fuck off horrible battle where there are people on both sides that we care for. And we might lose some of them. And I don't know about you, but I'm still conflicted as hell as to,
absolutely,
of course, who to root for, but also this whole euthanization plan. Still get why they want to do that, but I also get why people would want to oppose that plan. And that's where it just, I don't.
Yeah, and we've said this, I think, or at least for a very long time now, that it seems like there's definitely no right or wrong in this. It's just
no.
Shit.
Even Yelena admitted that, of course, no plan or no approach, not like it doesn't come without its own problems. There will always be upsides and downsides to like whatever
there will always
approach.
Be uncertainties.
Always be uncertainties first and foremost. And Sean, he definitely voiced some of his concerns, which kind of aligns with some of the stuff we talked about in the previous one. So of course they are aware that this isn't like the perfect plan and like the only way it can play out, but at least it's the one where they get what they think is righteous or how it should be, and that's how they can sort of end the suffering, but it's gonna take a lot more suffering and destruction before they get there. And we don't really have a perfectly good alternative to that plan either at the moment.
Not until they figure out how to separate or turn off the Titan gene, whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They can end the threat of like Titans in general. So we do have one plan that has one approach to doing that. It doesn't seem like necessarily that is like the way things are going to end. Just story wise, because they are still good at throwing in these curveballs here and there, and especially with this being a fantasy story, they can easily throw in another curveball at some point where a new opportunity presents itself. Just like we just got the information that the Founding Titan can actually change subjects of Emiya like genetically. So that, what else can that be used for, as we also talked about in the last one? So is there another solution there that they will realize down the road? Or right now I don't see any other way for this to end besides like very bittersweet. Like this it's no perfect outcome. There really isn't at this point. Do you think Armin that was a ruse what he just did. Like he was, because he's done that before. He's always a quick thinker, and he doesn't mind playing people in that way. So like, did he say, or did he break down crying and saying, "Oh, you touched something inside of my heart" with that, saying that to Elena? Did he do that to gain her trust, or
I don't know.
what sort of ploy is it, or is it even a ploy? Did he mean it?
This can be something that might not have been the original, but like when it was translated, at least, he said that he used Amon used words that sounded like he. He said something along the lines of, "It's so touching the way that you believe in what you're saying, that you believe that this is the right thing."
Yeah.
I don't know if the translation was if it's just something with the translation that was, but if that was the same, like, then it seems like, why would you say that? Oh, well, it's so beautiful that you believe, that you think that what you believe in is like
so he's more touched by her convictions rather than
the actual message, or
what she's actually saying about the plan. And it's not necessarily because he believes in it, but he truly believes that she believes in it.
Yes.
And that's what was touching. Yeah.
But I as I said, I don't know. I also have a tendency to read way too much into words, because people have a tendency to not think about the way they use words, because the way we use our words, it's so subconscious that even though you say something, there's an intention with the choice of words that you're using, even though you might get it or not. Like subconscious, it might be a subconscious thing, could also be like very conscious what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So, but I have a tendency to read way too much into that, so maybe I just read too much into what he said,
and how
and
he said
it was simply not that what he specifically said. I don't know.
Could be. At least we'll find out. I'm sure. But let's also go back to the beginning of the episode, because Zeke got grabbed by that Titan, opened its stomach up and put him in there, and then so for right now Zeke might be out of the picture until he can fully heal or something, but we still don't know what happened to Levi. And Hanji was with at least Flock and a few others, and they're gonna go check it out. So that's gonna come into play, like whatever they found out there and whatever happened to Levi. So really, really curious about that. And again, very glad that we don't have to wait a whole year to see what happened.
I'm still very much in the same boat like as last time. That if
Levi is gone, then you're gone as well.
I might just be.
that might just be.
I'm still on right on there on the verge of
We obviously do not want that. But you never know with this story. But then we get to Shiganshina, and again things going down in fucking Shiganshina of all places. They've evacuated a lot of people. We got some scenes with pixies as well, talking with Lena. Oh, sorry, did you have anything for that?
It just makes sense that it's Shiganshina, because it's the southernmost part of the walls and everything.
Yes.
And we know that the harbor is in the south end of the island.
Yes, so that's the closest.
Like, that's also where the Titans are coming from. They're coming from the south.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that the first contact, the point of contact, would be the southernmost part, and that's Shiganshina. So that's very quickly just that's why it's always going down there.
Exactly. That's the focus of what's been happening with a lot of the stuff in the series. and as I just said with Pixies, I still really I enjoy him as a character because he's always so very straightforward and rational about things. And yeah, he went along with it, but also because of the threat of him and others, the people who drank the wine turning into Titans, and there's also people pointing guns at him. So of course he did that, and then he brought up the very good point of, oh, so now you're doing the armbands thing. How is that any different from Marley and kind of what you're fighting against here? And then getting a little more into so what is it that you're doing exactly? What is your goal here? And I don't know like how much he figured out, and I'm still sort of waiting for the inevitable to happen with the people who drank the wine, and they're gonna turn into Titans at some point unless they can get that spinal fluid out of the system before Zeke comes back. But at least Zeke is kind of out of the picture now for a little while, so he can't do that just yet. The only I don't remember. Is the female Titan able to do that as well? Because we know the female Titan can also do the whole control Titans by yelling.
No,
so can she also turn them into it, or is that only Zeke? And then that relates to like Peak saying that only Zeke knows about this power, really.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think she might be able to control
Titans that are already Titans.
Yes. I think that's it, but we don't really know a lot about her and her Titan.
Not
also since she's been out of the picture since
like the end of season 1.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not like we've gotten a lot of knowledge about her Titan yet. We might get some more information at some point. I don't know.
I'm sure that she's gonna come back at some her character is gonna come back into play at some point, and she's gonna get out of the where she is now,
the cocoon thing.
crystal cocoon, and she's gonna join the battles somehow, but she's probably going to be very confused at first, and I don't know how that's going to go at all. But at least, okay, we can agree that they're most likely the people who drank the wine. Nothing's going to happen to them until Zeke comes back, or maybe they're never going to do it and they're just going to use it as a threat just to
I think they are going to use it as a threat, but if everything else goes south, or they have to go to that level, they will use it against them.
Yeah, they have that option, sure. Yeah. But Yelena, she's quite the interesting character.
Yeah.
I think. Shooting that guy, for example, shooting one of their own because of how he was talking about Eldians. But that also makes sense with how she's just like she's putting the Jaeger brothers on a pedestal and seeing them as gods, and like she's so devout in that way and blindly believes, or I don't know if I want to use the word blindly, but like she's
very convicted.
So so convicted and so she truly believes that what they're doing is just that's the right way, and she's very religious about it as well in that sense, again with the gods.
But I think it's very nice that she's not like she's not tolerating language like that, by that guy.
You could say that.
At least she's sticking to her principles, is what I mean. Like she's like, well, I want this world where we coexist, and I also want Marley to fail, or at least Marley to stop their oppression. Because she's also from a country that's been oppressed by Mali.
Yeah.
So
But she just wants, it all to fizzle, like peacefully, everything to go away. But that's how she explained the plan, and then Sean shot back with like, you can't know that for sure, and then that's when she admitted that sure, there will always be uncertainties.
Yes, but she wants the more peaceful solution, and she also sees the harm of Mali and everything. So her not allowing him to talk about the Eldians like that, because she does not want a future where people talk to each other like that, or about each other like that. At least that's what that tells me, that she's a person that's like, well, you should not be disrespectful towards these Eldians. You should not. I think we can all understand that if you're hurt, then you can say some very disrespectful stuff. But she was just like, yeah, well, we don't need none of this.
Yeah, it is still, the notion of, hey, you're being a horrible person. Now I will kill you.
I'm not saying I condone her actions.
No.
I just think it's so easy to, at least it's something I've experienced. I know this is not the same at all, but often I experience that people will just like let people be disrespectful or discriminating towards others, and then their friends or others will just let them be disrespectful.
They aren't intervening.
Yeah, exactly. They won't intervene either because of, I don't know, we should all be friends or whatever. Or
they don't want to start any drama necessarily. Or,
it's just something that frustrates me a little bit, because then if you're not actually actively intervening and telling that person, hey, that's not okay.
Yeah, what you're doing is actually hurting
then
people.
You're not necessarily as bad, but you're complicit to that discrimination. You're complicit to that to that disrespect, because you're not preventing it, or you're not letting it be opposed,
Yeah, and then I'm sure some people would like shoot back with, and this is not something that I believe in personally at all, but will shoot back with, well, I am allowed to say whatever I want to say about other people because that's my choice, and I'm like, I have freedom of speech and all that.
You have freedom of consequences.
Yes, and you're not the one to tell me what to say and what not to say. I know there are a lot of people who are fed up with being told that, hey, you can't say that or you can't do that anymore because it hurts people. And like I totally agree that we should be better at holding each other like accountable for what we're saying and doing, especially the people around us, because that's where we can make like the biggest impact is the immediate like people around us. But again, there will always be pushback when you try and do something like that.
It's more the people who are just trying to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Right. Like they might have other morals. They might have be in the same, like they might also think that, wow, you're being disrespectful, but they're not saying anything. And they're not letting those people be opposed. And that's just what I mean. It's somewhat... I'm sorry, this sounds wrong. I know, because she killed the person. And that's not what I mean. But it's kind of refreshing to see that at least she's not standing down on her principles just because she's allied with this person.
Yeah. And she's definitely held him accountable and then went over the line. But
that's what I'm... Well,
yes.
I don't condone that she
killed
him at all.
No one should be necessarily fucking just shot or killed for their beliefs or opinions, even if you strongly disagree with them.
No, like I think the most like the best example of how I like things to like how we constructively talk with each other and get out of a conflict in a somewhat nice way is the whole blouse thing. with the
father,
with the
Mr.
father,
Browse,
the way that he handled everything, and the way that like he was just so open and responsive, and
not saying that this shouldn't be consequent. Yeah, but at least being able to forgive and forget past transgression. I don't know how it necessarily like translates to this, but
so nothing gets close to this.
No. I was just saying that he's at least one of the characters so far where we have been like 100% behind, like on his like what he was saying. We agreed. It's I don't know how to talk about this really anymore.
No, but I just wanted to. That was just a way of pointing out someone I think who did the right thing or handled conflict the right way.
Yeah, had a better approach.
Yeah,
perhaps to handling a conflict and people that he knew was on the other side, or someone like Gabi who he knew just shot and killed his daughter, but he did not hold it against her personally because he knew where she comes from. It's not easy either, and she's not at fault for being born where she was born. So had more people like that, then maybe it wouldn't have gotten to all of this, but it's still people are still behaving quite realistically.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think in a situation like this, even though it still definitely is a fantasy story, it's got real people in it. But I think I'm at least out of things to say at this point. It just needed all to sort of sink in again. So, do you have anything you want to add? No, okay. No. Then that's going to do it for this reaction and review of Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 16, the end of Part 1 of the final season. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you as soon as possible. Bye.
Bye.